Hello all the audience of the channel, Historical Painting. Welcome back to our channel, where we together explore dramatic and interesting historical stories. Today, we will together learn about a question that has puzzled many researchers: why did Japan choose the path of suicide during World War II? What made them become so extreme? Let's explore this story right away. In the final stages of World War II, the defeat of the Axis powers was almost certain. Faced with this situation, the three main Axis countries, Italy, Germany, and Japan, made different choices. Italy decided to carry out a swift coup, overthrow Mussolini, and withdraw from the war in a peaceful manner. Germany, under Hitler's leadership, chose to fight until the very last moment, despite the imminent death. Meanwhile, Japan, though on the brink of defeat, chose the path of dragging the enemy down with them in a mutual suicide. So why did Japan choose this path? Why did they decide to drag their enemies to death, instead of surrendering or fighting to the last minute like Germany? To understand this, we need to delve into the psychology and culture of the Japanese military during that period. In World War II, the Japanese military was renowned for its refusal to surrender, a fact that horrified the Allied forces. According to the perspective of Western countries, if a military unit had a casualty rate exceeding 25%, or even 33%, then that unit would be forced to surrender. However, this was almost non-existent in the Japanese military. In northern Myanmar, the ratio between Japanese soldiers who surrendered and those who died was 1 to 120. In the Battle of Bataan, almost the entire Japanese army perished, with only 20 individuals being captured as prisoners of war out of 50,000 soldiers. Although the German and Japanese armies were both very brutal in war, the Japanese army went much further. In the Battle of Stalingrad, the German army still accepted surrender by unit, while in the Pacific Theater, the Japanese army almost never surrendered by unit to the American forces. They chose death over living in disgrace. Even when captured, Japanese soldiers sought to kill the enemy or commit suicide. To understand why the Japanese military acts in this way, we need to look at the spirit of Bushido, a cultural tradition that has deeply influenced the minds of the Japanese people for centuries. The essence of the Bushido spirit is absolute loyalty and fearlessness in the face of death. In his book, Bushido, Naito Banatsu wrote that loyalty is the noblest virtue and being willing to sacrifice one's life for loyalty is the ultimate act. The spirit of the samurai has been instilled and ingrained in the minds of every Japanese soldier. They believe that dying in battle is an honor, and dying for the emperor is the greatest happiness. Not only that, the emperor is revered as a deity, and all Japanese citizens are educated to be absolutely loyal to the emperor. This turns the emperor into the supreme leader of a brainwashed nation, and the Japanese people become mere pawns on the chessboard of the warlords. One of the most prominent symbols of the Japanese military's spirit of self-sacrifice during World War II was the kamikaze squadrons. These pilots volunteered to fly their planes directly into Allied warships, hoping that their sacrifice would slow down the progress of the war. For them, dying in battle was a noble act, and this voluntary self-sacrifice became part of Japan's military strategy. In addition to kamikaze, the Japanese military also developed many other suicide weapons such as Oka, a piloted bomb, and Kaiten, a piloted torpedo. These weapons were designed to attack Allied warships and were piloted by soldiers willing to sacrifice their lives. This is clear evidence of the spirit of self-sacrifice and absolute loyalty to the emperor of the Japanese military. While the Japanese military pushed the spirit of suicide to its peak, the German military took a different approach. Although the Nazi Germany also experimented with suicide attack tactics, such as establishing special flying squads to attack American bomber fortresses, these tactics were not widely applied. Hitler, despite greatly admiring loyalty, believed that the cost of sacrificing lives for victory was too high. Instead of focusing on suicide attacks, Hitler wanted to use modern technology and exploit more resources to gain an advantage in the war. The Nazi Germany experimented with manned V-1 rockets, but due to a lack of willing pilots, this plan was never implemented on a large scale. This demonstrates the profound difference between Germany and Japan in their approach to warfare. Finally, the question arises, why did Japan choose the path of suicide while Germany did not? The answer lies in the differences in culture, tradition, and education systems between the two countries. While Germany focused on utilizing modern technology in military tactics, Japan was dominated by the spirit of Bushido, the worship of the emperor, and absolute loyalty. This is why Japan became a unique case in the history of World War II. However, blind loyalty and the spirit of self-destruction of the Japanese people ultimately only brought about 2 atomic bomb explosions and devastating destruction to their country. This is a valuable lesson that history has left us. Thank you for watching today's video. If you find this video helpful and interesting, don't forget to press the like button to support us. Share this video with your friends and family, and especially, subscribe to the Historical Painting channel to not miss any fascinating videos about important historical events and figures. See you in the next videos.